So let me take you to a place now. It's a top floor, an old converted mill. You're in an office. There's high ceilings. There's bulbs with no lampshades. There's a stag's head mounted on the wall. Ping pong and games consoles dotted around. It's a penthouse office in New York, isn't it? No, it's not. It's a working office here in Nottingham city centre. Impression is a digital startup and chose Nottingham, of all places, to establish its business. And Aaron Dix is the managing director. Good morning.
Morning, thank you.
Sounds fabulous. Does it really look like that?
It sort of does, yeah. It's not the most polished office in the world, but actually it's probably the most fun place I could dream of working. So I'm quite happy to call it our own.
And why do you need ping pong tables and a stag on the wall and games consoles? And haven't you got beer? You've got beer in a fridge?
We do have some beer, yes. We do have a row of beer fridges, but only for Friday afternoons after work. We've got to get client work done first.
But you keep them locked, do you, up until that point?
They are open, but yeah.
Can I? It's a rude question, I suppose, but how old are you?
I'm 24 at the moment. Yeah.
Wow.
Hopefully not too young.
And how old were you when you started the business?
When I started the business, it was about 2 weeks after my 22nd birthday. I wasn't too far out of university. I'd graduated early that summer and moved to Nottingham for a graduate job, and was having a great time. But at the time, we were working with a lot of digital marketing agencies, and
you thought, I could do this?
Yeah, really. We'd had mixed experiences. It was a Nottingham company, and we were employing agencies that were based in London, based in Leeds and Manchester. So it was a bit of a shame, really, to see that money being invested elsewhere. At the same time, we weren't 100% sure of the results we were getting either. And from previous experience of both myself and my co-founder, we really thought we could give it a better stab.
So what does it actually do, digital marketing? What does that mean?
So it's a variety of services, really, but actually the main thing we help companies do is get found online. So people searching in search engines, people searching on their mobile phones, they're looking for businesses that offer services or products they're looking for. And we help those businesses get found more by placing them higher in those listings.
Yeah, which is really important, which is how you
Absolutely.
get noticed.
Transformational for a lot of businesses, yeah.
And how's your business going?
Well, thank you, yes. So we haven't been running all that long. Although we registered late 2012, the business has really been full-time about 18 months. We're up to 15 staff, so it's quite a high-growth business. It's all going nice and well.
Turnover, profit? Can I ask?
We're forecast to be around about the £500,000 mark this year. So it's to go from nothing in 18 months to that is quite
amazing.
Phenomenal, I hope. But
impressive.
Thank you.
And you've got all your employees under 30?
They are, yes. So we do. My co-founder is 29. I'm 24, and I'm just below the average age of the company. We've got a mix of people really working in the team. So
was that deliberate, or did it just work out like that?
It's just really happened like that. I think perhaps the fact that we're two relatively young founders has led to a younger team, applying for roles. But with all that said, actually, half of the team is around about 5 years experienced in their particular service sectors, and we take an approach where we hire one inexperienced for one experienced member of staff. Okay. So it's sustainable, and we're able to buddy people up and provide good training.
And all this fun stuff, the ping pong table and the table football and the beer, why is that important?
We ask our staff to stare at a computer monitor 8 or 9 hours a day. So actually having a bit of a break from that is really important. But at the same time,
get any work done?
There's a lot of work done. The ping pong table probably only gets about 10 games a day. So and it's only a few minutes per game, so it's not too bad.
And how does Nottingham compare then as a place to start a business like this? How are you finding Nottingham?
Sure. So I worked in a marketing agency when I was in Leeds when I was studying, and that was a few years ago. And since I've had quite a lot of experience with other agencies and other companies that are based in London, so I've only really got 2 points of comparison. But actually, the energy, the amount of investment, the amount that businesses look out for one another in Nottingham is so much stronger than anywhere else I've ever been. I saw really high growth in digital marketing agencies and digital scene and arts scenes when I was in Leeds, and actually now that's what I'm really beginning to see in Nottingham as well. So it's just really kind of solidifying the point that this is a great place for us to be. in our particular service.
Okay, could there be more? Could there be more trendy startups? Do you mind me calling you a trendy startup? Is that right?
Not at all.
They're called Impression. Could we see more like this across the county here in Nottingham? Well, you'll hear from a business expert in the next 5 minutes with the word knots. Right now, you're hearing about some trendy young businesses starting in Nottingham. You've been hearing from Aaron Dix. He's the managing director of Impression. They're a digital startup company, and none of their employees are older than 30. And they chose to settle here in Nottingham. Simon Gray is also a businessman, and he's from Nottingham Means Business. So good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well. I should say, Aaron, the first thing I thought when you came into the studio was you didn't look how I expected.
No beard.
I thought you were going to have a beard. I thought you were going to be
The beard's compulsory, isn't
the
it?
hipster, yeah.
Should be.
Tweed, beard, foldable bike, that
Absolutely.
kind of look. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's made me feel quite old today. So,
Are you trying to grow one just to fit in? Or?
I actually am at the moment a little bit, yeah. But
These people in your company under 30, how many have beards?
only 3 or less, depending on what day of the week it is.
Right, okay. Well, maybe I've got it all wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's
Maybe that's the
passé.
secret sauce to success.
Trying to go for the East London kind of look and feel, but we haven't quite got there yet.
No.
Yeah. Is this happening, though? Are these young, trendy companies actually coming to Nottingham?
It's great to see Aaron and his company is a shining example of what's possible in Nottingham. It's great to see him getting some national press and recognition. The organisation that I run is called Nottingham Means Business. We're 230 member private sector led organisation that brings the business community together. And Aaron and Impression are one of our members. And it's fantastic to see businesses like Aaron's being successful in Nottingham.
You put it quite delicately earlier, but I think reading between the lines, Aaron, you were saying we're 2 years behind Leeds. You were saying that you used to work in Leeds. There was an explosion, and is that right?
There's always a bit of. I sometimes describe Nottingham as being, in that kind of, in maybe the shadow of of a regional city, but actually, I think what that really means is actually there's quite a lot of opportunity here. At the same time as, me saying all that about Leeds, actually, when you look at the size of the conurbations that these regional hubs are in, it makes sense for those companies to be larger. But in my sector in particular, when I was in Leeds, there were 5 companies, all about 150 people strong, all in one particular geographical area. And then you come to Nottingham and you notice actually that kind of traction isn't here quite yet. But with organisations such as Nottingham Means Business, there's the growth schemes through the Creative Quarter and other organisations as well. Actually, the rate of growth that we've seen even in the last 2.5 years is pretty phenomenal, really.
I mean, that's part of the opportunity. And I think we've not been the best in Nottingham about shouting nationally and internationally about what it is we have here, whereas other cities have taken more of a lead. But, the tide is starting to change and those messages are starting to get out. So we can expect to attract more businesses like Aaron's business here, which is great news.
More beards, more hipsters.
More beards, definitely.
So what is it then about Nottingham that does pull people here?
I think I've started a couple of businesses here as well as running Nottingham Means Business. And one of the most important things for me is the community. So if we look at, the Creative Quarter across the way, there are lots of businesses doing similar things in a close-knit geographical area, which means, when you start a business, it's a lonely place. So if you've got people around you that are going through the same journey, that's very reassuring, and there are synergies that come from that. We've got BioCity, we've got life sciences hubs, which is a similar thing in the life sciences space. Clean tech is another important sector to us. We've got the Clean Tech Centre. So these hubs are starting to be catalysts for growth businesses like Aaron's.
So it actually works then? I mean, this business of a Creative Quarter, it can just sound a little bit highfalutin and nonsensical, but it does work in practice.
Yeah, what you can't do is designate a geographical area, put a sign up and say this is the place where people are going to be creative.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. What it's about is the people in that sector engaging, being given the opportunity to engage with one another, to exchange ideas, best practice, whatever you want to call it. And that's one of the reasons Nottingham Means Business exists, to facilitate those kinds of conversations.
Okay, so where are you going to be next? What's your next aim then, Aaron?
World domination.
Almost, yeah. We moved into our new office only a few months ago, so we've got a little bit of space in there to bounce around. So we'll definitely be in the same office for the foreseeable. But I can't see us leaving Nottingham anytime soon. There's absolutely no reason for us to do so. I mean, I guess to touch on the point that Simon just raised, even in the last couple of years, we've seen a couple more agencies move from out of town into the creative quarter, and it's attracting people that, you know, established businesses as well as growth and startup businesses. So getting people together is the most important part about what the creative quarter stands for. I
Yeah.
think.
Well, congratulations on what you've achieved. It's phenomenal. It's very, very
done.
impressive. Aaron Dix, the Managing Director of Impression, and Simon Gray from Nottingham Means Business. And let us know when the beer fridges are open. It's Friday afternoon.
We'll go and open
is
it now,
Yeah.
shall we?
Yeah, it's high time.
Yes, lunchtime.
And the work. Dolly Parton now. News headlines to come.